Good day, YouTube. Today I am going to talk about 5 tips for detuning your guitar, and I'm talking about going below C sharp or lower. I'm tuned to C sharp standard with this guitar right now. The main reason I don't go any lower is because of the first thing we are going to be talking about regarding detuning your guitars. Make sure you get the right string gauge. Keep in mind that the thicker your strings are, the more likely you are to need to take your guitar to get it professionally set up, because they're going to have to do some adjustments to your nut. Keep in mind that your scale length is going to matter. This is an LTD EC1000S, which carries the Gibson scale length, which is 24.75 inches. I am running 11 through 52s on this right now, tuned to C sharp standard, and she still is quite a bit flabby. I should probably go a little bit thicker, but I didn't want to have to do any work to my nut. A little bit flabby, but still a little bit tight. But we are going to get into a little bit more to get rid of those problems. The second tip that I have for you today is going to be making sure you do a full length setup. You're going to have to get in here and you're going to have to adjust your truss rod. You're going to want to keep about 20 pounds of pressure per each guitar string. Hence the reason why we are going to go up thicker string gauges, which is also why you are going to need to do some adjusting. You're going to want to do your truss rod, but you're also going to want to check your intonation. Intonation on this guitar is what these guys here are for, where each individual string you can adjust your scale length. The third tip that I have for you guys today. EQ. If you are tuned to D sharp standard or E standard, or basically just standard tuning for your guitar, you could probably get away with scooping out your mids just a little bit. When we're talking about detuning your guitars, not so much. You're going to want to take your bass, drop it down, and you're going to want to take your mids and put them up. I max mine out completely, so when I'm in a mix, I can still be heard over my bass player. Also, if you are doing your own mixing, you're going to want to adjust your high pass filter somewhere between 80 hertz to maybe even 50 hertz. 50 hertz is a little bit high and you tend to lose a lot of that bottom end. By itself, it's going to make your guitar not sound so good, but when you add in your bass player, it's going to mesh and sound gorgeous. Totally good for brutal tones. Tip number 4, and this is something that's often overlooked when people are detuning their guitars. You are going to want to adjust your pickup height. Now, when you're dealing with passive pickups or active pickups, they're going to be two different schools of thought. Passive, you want to go to, if you can see here, I have a screw here, there's one little screw head here. Same thing here, one here, one here. Turning this is going to make your pickups go either up or down. Now, if you are using a passive pickup, this is a good place for you to start by ever so slightly raising your pickup to give it back a little bit of bite. If you feel like your guitar already has a little too much bite, try lowering them. That's with passive pickups. Active pickups, you want to get them as close as possible to your guitar string so that they don't buzz. That's the best way for them to do their jobs. Tip number 5 is going to be your string height. And I know a lot of you lead guitar players are probably wishing that you could kick me in the face right now when I'm about to say this, but you're going to want to take your string height and raise it ever so slightly. With lower tunings, your guitar strings are going to be thicker and more likely to slap here along your frets. So what you're going to want to do, again, if you have a bridge like mine, you're going to see here, and it's going to be the same thing on a Floyd Rose. You have the basic setup right along where your intonation gets adjusted. Go here, and you can slightly raise it up. You're going to want to double check your intonation. You probably should do your intonation last, if I should say. Another thing you're going to want to do is, if you had to adjust your nut to let the strings go through, what you're going to want to do, go to your open string and hit it. You're going to want a digital tuner. Now go to your first fret and fret that. That note should not be sharp or flat. If it is, something is up right here with your nut. And you just do that for every string. Guys, that's it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and feel free to subscribe to my channel. Also, feel free to share my videos. I wanted to share with you guys my own personal experience with detuning guitars. I have played a 7-string guitar, I've played an 8-string guitar. I don't quite vibe with an 8-string, just my general way of playing guitar. It doesn't quite fit with an 8-string, but a 7-string for me feels perfect with the width of the neck, the scale length. Now, baritone guitars are typically longer, starting at about an inch longer than the Fender scale length, which is 25.5 inches long. A lot of the times your 7-string guitars are going to be 26.5 inches long, all the way to the 8-string guitar that I had that was 28 inches long. That's almost a bass guitar, but I think it actually does. I think some bass guitars actually go to that scale length. The reason why they have a longer scale length is because when you are tuned to B standard or even A sharp standard or G standard, that longer scale length is going to help you be able to utilize thinner strings to get those low notes and keep your strings tight. The setup is going to be a lot easier and you are going to get a lot more attack with your notes compared to detuning a 6-string guitar, especially with the Gibson length. Fortunately for me, I don't play a lot of really high technical stuff. I can admit it, but I do like to have a slightly sludgy sound. So tell me about your personal experiences with tuning down guitars. Did you guys experience a lot of flubbiness with your guitar strings? Did you have a problem where you sound muddy? Let me know down in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you guys for taking the time to check out my video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.